This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore.
Today's video is brought to you by Liquid IV. Today is a good day. Today's a good day because, one, I'm wearing the sport coat that everybody seems to hate. But also, yesterday was Madison Cawthorn's final speech on the House floor, his farewell address, if you will. And he unraveled in real time, whining about the softness of men in America. The right, for a long time, has been obsessed with masculinity and manliness. And they opine about how men in America are soft and our military is woke and all of this just banal BS that is meaningless. Look, I've got a lot of friends across the spectrum of traditional masculinity. And there is no value discrepancy in any of the men with whom I'm friends. It doesn't matter if someone is more masculine or less masculine. They are equally capable. They provide as much value for their families and for society. But conservatives, in an effort to gin up this continuing culture war against meaningless controversies, they want to beat that drum, whether it be Tucker Carlson and his scrotum tanning psychosis on his show, or low testosterone levels or sperm counts. It's a weird, inexplicable obsession. And Madison Cawthorn took his final moment in Congress on the floor of the House of Representatives of these United States to make this what he talked about. But before I get to that, and it's as nutty as you think it is, a word from today's sponsor, Liquid IV. There are so many things that I am great at, but staying hydrated isn't one of them. While I always intend to reach for that glass of water, I more often end up with a cup of coffee or a glass of wine. This used to leave me feeling thirsty all the time, especially after hitting the exercise bike or working all evening in our rather stifling production studio. But this spring, I found Liquid IV. Hydrating you 2 times faster than water alone, Liquid IV hydration multipliers are the answer for dehydration. There are so many excellent hydration multiplier flavors to try. Go to liquidiv.com and use code Dollemore for 20% off plus free shipping, or simply click the link in the description below. With Liquid IV, you can send your thirst packing right away. The hydration multiplier sticks like these are easy to use and small enough to travel with anywhere. Take them on the airplane or take them with you to the gym. And listen, I've been hooked on their Concord grape flavor lately. It reminds me of the grape juice that I drank on hot summer days as a kid. It's not only delicious, but it also has 3 times the electrolytes of your average sports drink. What's the best way to support your everyday wellness and this channel? Go to liquidiv.com and use code Dollemore, or just click the link in the description to save 20% off plus free shipping. Excuse your thirst with Liquid IV. So let's get to this goofy foot. Look, let's say this to preface this clip. We don't expect anything from Madison Cawthorn, who's been AWOL since losing his election, or his primary election. He has been missing in action. No one knows where he is. He's not working. He's missing votes. His district offices aren't taking phone calls. He's just not dedicated to the proposition of representing a constituency. He doesn't care. He wasn't there for that anyway. He was there to be a rabble rouser, to go to churches and tell parents that if you're raising boys, raise them to be monsters, he said. And in continuation of this, he goes on to the floor of the United States House of Representatives. I want to just hammer that home. And whines about men not being to his liking. Watch this.
Madam Speaker, it used to be a rite of passage in this country for young men to be punched in the face when they did something stupid. Our nation used to believe that there was strength and purpose in taking the hits, learning from your mistakes and growing through the adversity. America is weak. Her sons are sickly and her daughters are decrepit. Our country now faces the consequences of enabling a participation trophy society. We are no longer the United States. We have become the nanny state. Our young men are taught that weakness is strength, that delicacy is desirable, and that being a soft metrosexual is more valuable than training the mind, body, and soul. Social media has weakened us, siphoning our men of their will to fight, to rise in a noble manner, square their jaws, and charge once more into the breach of life to defend what they love. So on this precipice of disaster, I ask the young men of this nation a question. Will you sit behind a screen while the storied tales of your forefathers become myth? Or will you stand resolute against the dying light of America's golden age? Will you reclaim your masculinity? Will you become a man to be feared, to be respected, to be looked up to? Or will you let this nation's next generation be its final generation? With that, I yield back.
There's a lot there, to be sure. But first, let's just address his first point, that it used to be a rite of passage to be punched in the face when you did something stupid. Apparently, you have failed that rite of passage, Madison Cawthorn, because you would have been punched in the face continuously, attempting to bring loaded firearms onto aircrafts, magazines with ammunition onto aircrafts, being stopped by the TSA, being pulled over numerous times for driving without a driver's license. Maybe you should avoid this train of advice for people that we need to hearken back to the days of old where you just get punched in the face if you made a mistake. I don't know when those days were. But this entire weakness is strength mantra that conservatives want to talk about, that in today's world, weakness is strength. What? What are you talking about, Maddie? Then he uses this. It's again the same people who never served, even pre-accident that hurt him in a manner that he is now in a wheelchair. He didn't join the military. He wasn't clamoring, beating down a recruiter's door to join the military, but he wants to use language that invokes that imagery. Charging into the breach. They're just weak. They're cowards. These are the people, listen, you've heard it before. You've heard it a million times that the people who prattle on the loudest about being a man or being strong or being an alpha are the weakest, are the betas, if you will. Because an alpha doesn't need to announce it. Someone who's strong and actually does have strength and fortitude doesn't need to talk about it all the time. They just be. And then a man to be feared. His ideal for a man is someone to be feared. Why is that? What is so appealing about being feared? And then this rambling about this will be our final generation. Hyperbole much, dipshit? Come on. What do you make of this? I mean, it's perplexing to me. It's not surprising. It's not something that we like, oh, this is out of the blue. Where did this come from Madison Cawthorn? He's incomprehensible. He's been incomprehensible his entire term in Congress. This is just more of the same on his final day, on his final moment to speak to the House. Anyway, what do you think? I'd love to know. Call, leave me a voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me, daily@dollemore.com. Daily@dollemore.com. Follow me on social media. I'm at Dollemore just about everywhere. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, at Dollemore. And if you appreciate what I do, if you want to take part in creating this content, help produce this content, click the join button below, become a channel member, and we can make fun of these clowns all together. You can also go to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. Both those are great ways to support what I do right here on this platform. I love you guys. I appreciate your loyalty and your audience viewership. It is a remarkable thing that we're building here, and I thank you for it. I'll see you next time. Until I do, be genuine. Take care of one another.